Hey guys, do you ever get to the point you think you've got maybe a little too many lures? Today we're going to talk about tackle storage, and mainly we're going to talk about these right here. So let me get rid of these, we'll get started. Okay, the first thing we need to go over is why did I feel I needed to make a change? Well, last fall I bought a new boat, and the first thing I noticed was there's only one storage compartment up front. And while it's large enough to probably hold a dozen of these, it's behind the seat. So I'm figuring every time I want to make some changes here or there, I got to turn around and get out of the seat, go around back to open it up to get something out. Now I don't mind putting one or two of these on the floor up front by me out of the way, but I didn't want a lot of them. So I thought I wanted to come up with something a little bit different the way I'm doing things to alleviate that problem. And that's about the time I happened to run on to these boxes. Now these are the Plano Elite boxes. They're going to cost you a little more than the standard ones. If you want to get a better look at these, I can put a link down in the description where you can take a good look at them. I purchased, let's see, I got 5 here, but I purchased 5 different boxes. 2 of them are the same style. One of them, and we'll see about that. But let's go over a little bit what I have here. The first one here is the Plano Elite. It's the crankbait box, the large. These are the 3700s. And I like this one because they're designed differently. If you got crankbaits and you got the normal box with the dividers, we've all seen the problem. You leave a big area, you put 2 or 3 together, they get tangled up. If you put them in individuals, every once in a while the treble hook slides under one of the dividers. When you go to pull it out, it's snagged in, or the divider comes out and it gets to be a mess. This is the Elite series. This right here, if put 2 per slot, you can actually put 22 crankbaits in here. And as you see, they're not falling out or they're not moving too much. The dividers that go lengthways here go all the way to the bottom. They're attached to the box, but the nice part is they don't go straight down, they actually curve. So when you take a crankbait like this, and when you put it inside the box, the hooks actually go down into the curve, and the lure sits down and the hooks go down inside. You can actually put 2, I put them nose to nose, so if the noses touch, the hooks, they won't tangle each other. Even when they slide down to the end like this, where I had them on end, you can just basically slide one back and they usually will not hang up with each other. I think this is a great way to do crankbaits. The crankbaits have to be one of the worst ways to put them in a box and get them where they won't snag into the box or tangle up. This to me looks like a great way to run crankbaits. Now, in doing this box this way, I decided I'm going to make a change. Because, again, the storage is behind my seat, I wanted things to go a little bit simpler. So instead of having a box in the past, I've had, okay, here's my square bills, and this box over here has got my deep ones, and this box over here has my jerk baits, and this box over here has my lipless. Well, fine, you might have 20 or 30 of each kind in there. Are you going to use that many? No. Let's face it, we're all down to, I've got, what, 5 different square bills here, 5 colors, and that's probably the 5 I'm going to go with, probably only 3 of them. So what I've done is, I have 2 square bills of the same color. This one's going to run 2 to 3 feet, this one's going to run 5 to 6. I've matched those down, and that's what I'm putting in this box. Anything else I got is going in one of those other boxes I took off the table. That's where they're all going. They're all going over there. They're still in the boat, but they're back in behind me in the storage compartment. Now right below that, in this box, I'm going to run about 5 or 6 lipless crankbaits, about 3 in each one. And I'll tell you what, lipless, you're not going to get these to not tangle in with each other. So that's helpless no matter what box you put them in. But I'm running about 5 lipless, and below that, I'm running about 3 jerk baits. Now this is set up this way because as winter gets over here and we get ready to start fishing, the water temperatures are going to be 40s and 50s. What are the first lures I'm going to grab? Jerk baits, lipless, and probably some square bills. So this box is going to sit this way probably until the water temperature gets to about 60. And at that point in time, I'm going to sit down one day, I'm going to take the jerk baits out, I'm probably going to take most of the lipless out, and I'm going to replace this, and I'm now going to put in a few rows of shallow and a few rows of deep divers. That way when this box comes out, I'm covered for medium, shallow, and deep, and all the extra lures are going to be back behind me in that storage compartment again. I'm doing the same thing. I won't be using these early on now because of the cold. I'm going to do the same thing here with top water. In this situation, here's all my whopper ploppers down here. I've got some poppers. I've got my frogs. I've got maybe a half dozen frogs in here. How many frogs is the guy going to use? You know, I like a black frog. That's the ones I like to use. But I'll probably keep 4, 5, 6 frogs. I have more. Again, they're going to be back behind me again. So when I pull this thing out, aside from a buzz bait, it's got everything I want for topwater. Whether I'm doing whopper ploppers, frogs, poppers, old jitterbugs or whatever. And again, the nice thing, with using the crankbait one, all those treble hooks are sitting down inside and they don't get tangled up with each other. Now, let's move over to spinner baits, buzz baits, that type of stuff. This happens to be, this is Plano Elite. It's a spinnerbait, buzzbait box. This one has small posts that go straight up and down. The idea is you'll take a spinnerbait, you'll take the neck just below the head, you push that right down in between the posts, and then those posts have notches. You take the top wire, you just bend it down, you hook it in a notch, and your spinnerbait sits in an upright manner. The buzz baits, same basic style, just a little bit different way to hold the buzz baits. Technically, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got 12, put 12 spinner baits in a row if I wanted to. But let's go back to the same idea. I don't want to have too many of anything in the box. I'll put most of the stuff behind my seat. So here's just a straight spinnerbait box. This has 3 rows in it for all spinnerbaits. The only thing is I've made a slight change to it. Here's my row of spinnerbaits in the middle, and I'm only putting in, there's like 6 or 7 in there. If I got extras, back behind the seat. But below that is a whole row of chatterbaits. They'll fit in there too. They fit perfectly inside there. And above that is a whole row of jigs. Again, they fit in there perfectly in between the slots. I can put 8 or 10 jigs, 6, 8, 10 chatterbaits, spinnerbaits. This thing now has probably every jig and wire I'm going to use. All here in one box. Do I have extras? Yeah. They're back behind the seat. So in the day when I'm using this, or I'm using crankbaits, it's right there. I got everything in 2 boxes. Spinnerbaits, chatterbaits, jigs, square bills, lipless, jerk baits. They all made it in 2 boxes. It's not all the lures I have. If I lose some, if I've only got one lure of one color in here, one chatterbait of one particular color, and I lose it, I may have another couple of them, but they're back behind the seat, and I'll have to go dig for them if I need them. But if not, I only have the 2 up front. Now, one other thing we're going to talk about. They also have the Plano Elite, a worm box. I don't know if I'd spend the money on this one, guys. It was a nice idea, and basically it's a 2-sided box, and you put bags in, and I'll show you, the compartments kind of, they angle down, they slant in, they put in clips, and the idea is you slip the bag under the clip, and that'll hold it in place, and you can put 2 or 3 bags here and 2 or 3 here. Well, guess what? You want to try to put a bag under that clip? Forget it. It's kind of a waste of time and hard to do it. But that being said, I am going to try something. I'm going to take this, because it kind of you put them in compartments, so to speak. I'm going to take this, and I can probably put 3 bags up above here, and I'm going to make that for my craws. I got 3 bags of craws up here. Down here, I'm going to put in maybe 3 bags or 4 bags, whatever I got, of beaver tail style lures. So now when I open that up, I can mark it up here. There's craws, there's beaver tails. They won't get mixed up. I can do the same thing. I can flip it over. Let's turn it around. And now I've got some worms. So let's say up here, here's my ribbon tail worms up here, and here's some paddle tail worms down there. Again, close it up. I've got some of each, I know which is there. If I put 3 bags of each, I got 6 bags of worms. I'll never go through 6 different styles of worms in one day for me, but even if I did, there's more behind the seat. Same way on the creature baits, whether it's the craws or those, I'll have 6 different kinds. I never go through that many in a day, but if I need more, they're back behind the seat. So for me, when I'm done, even if I'm doing top water, let's say I'm going out for a day, I'm doing top water, I'm doing wires, I'm doing crankbaits, and I need my soft plastics. It's right there. There's almost my entire day, aside from terminal tackle, there's my entire day in 4 containers. Now I may have 8 more of these stuck back behind the seat if I need them, but for the most part, I've got them right there. Down the line, I'll probably do another video. Bob might come up because we've been talking about this for him and I both. I had a system last year where I kind of used a milk crate on deck with me. I may come back and review that later. But for now, I wanted to kind of give you an idea of the way I'm kind of changing the way I'm going to do. I'm not going to have a square bill tackle box and a lipless tackle box and a jerkbait. My tackle box now is for crankbaits is going to be seasonal. This is to start me out. It'll get me till the water gets to 60. Once we get up to about 60, I'm going to have to take some things out and add some things to it. And then maybe later in the heat of the summer, I still might take a couple things out and add something to it. And next year, we'll turn it all back and start it all over again. Probably 3 times a year, I'll change what's in this box. But whatever's in this box will get me through the whole day when I'm out there. And if I run out of something because I lose it, I'll always have a spare back behind the seat. Anyway, the Plano Elite tackle boxes, the crankbait, I love it. I think this thing's going to be great. I can't wait. And I love the spinnerbait box. Spinnerbaits, chatterbaits, jigs, all in the same box. And they're not going to get messed up. They're just as good as they are upside down or right side up. I think that thing, I'm going to love that. Worm box, you be the judge. I bought it. I'm going to use it. Would I buy a second one? Probably not. No, I don't think so. All right, that's it. That's my tackle arrangement. We got some other stuff we'll go over later. Got a few more lures we're going to make again later. But I thought I wanted to get you out and show you these. If you're thinking of buying some new tackle boxes, take a look at the Plano Elite. I love them. I think they're going to be worthwhile. Thanks for sticking with me. Subscribe to our channel if you would. Hope to see you again real soon.